Welcome back, guys, and it's fantastic to be back with you. And we've got another very exciting, very inspirational interview for you now. And it's my real, genuine pleasure, and with quite a lot of excitement, really, to be able to introduce you to Lisa Pogson. Hello and welcome.
Hello, great to be interviewed. Thank you.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you do? I'm going to say in the daytime and also sort of in your spare time.
Yeah. I've got a busy spare time. I've got a company called Airmaster where I'm joint MD, and we do mechanical services all over the country. And then in my spare time, I'm president of the local Chamber of Commerce, Barnsley and Rotherham. I am also mentoring a lot of school situations, and I am a trustee at Grimm & Co, which is a very exciting project in Rotherham.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll talk more about what you're doing with Grimm & Co later on, because that's something that's really fired off all sorts of wonderful thoughts in my head. But can you start off by telling us what mentoring means to you?
Mentoring to me has been about giving something back. We've got a big project that we do in Sheffield, and it's part of the Sheffield and Rotherham, part of the Athena, which is a nationwide and international award for leadership, entrepreneurial and inspiring leaders. And part of that is about giving back, and it's been really important to me because I've had a lot of people mentor me, and now it's for me to help mentor other people. That's what it means to me.
Absolutely, so important, and it's so important, isn't it, to be able to give back?
Yeah. It's absolutely probably 20% of what I do now. And as an MD, you're there to support everybody else around you, not just you. That's really important to me.
Absolutely, and that's true. That is, when we do executive mentoring, we have the same conversation. The role of an MD, the role of a CEO, the role of the C-suite is very much there to be there to support and meet the needs of their staff.
That's right, and I know the Simon Sinek stuff about leaders eat last and all that. That's what you should be. That's what it should be about.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's really important for us as a business.
Definitely. No, thank you. Is there a particular mentor that's influenced you?
Yeah. I think my parents have been great mentors for me. I've been really lucky with my mum and dad. I've had loads of mentors over the years, but an outstanding mentor for me was Julie Kenny. She's a local businesswoman in Rotherham, and she mentored me at a time when I really needed some help with confidence. And for me as a mentor, if the only thing I give to anyone is some confidence, that is the best thing to get. So that's the key for me.
Excellent. No, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Now, tell us a little bit about, and you mentioned it earlier, tell us a bit about Grimm & Co and how it was set up and what caused you to get involved.
Yeah. Well, talking about mentors, I'm part of the local chamber, and we've got a women in business group, and a lady called Deborah Bullivant came to speak to us about a new idea, and it was based upon a TED talk with Dave Eggers, the writer, and it was called Once Upon a School. And it was about a school he'd set up in America, an after-school club. So that's worth a look for anybody anyway. And she was building up this centre in Rotherham to be a Yorkshire-wide charity to help children get some confidence to write. And it was about all the terrible stuff that was going on in Rotherham at the time around the CSE report and things. Getting children to write in diaries and get out the feelings, and that made a massive difference. She just absolutely inspired me to be involved, and I've always wanted to write myself. To see the kids writing is just amazing, absolutely amazing.
So how does Grimm & Co work? It's Rotherham based. The parents just turn up with their children, or?
No. There's a shop. It's an apothecary for magical beings, and magical beings come and use the stories that the children write. They feed off them, but they also come there to buy their bath salts and all this sort of stuff. And humans can go in there too and buy their bath salts and things. And behind the secret door is a bit of a Harry Potter world. There is a whole writing centre where children can come from local schools and be mentored in writing, script writing, comedy writing, and gain a lot of confidence. And I have absolutely seen some of the children come in not speaking, autistic children. They absolutely levelled in that place because it's a magical place. And so you can come on workshops in the holidays and things, but you have to be on a list. It's not about being able to pay, it's free, but there are only so many places. And we've just seen children write scripts, and they're going to be filmed, and they're going to be on a big event next year.
So are you involved with actually working with the children at Grimm & Co?
Yes. So we can mentor the children, we can sit in on the workshops. For me, actually, it's been a good learning curve, because one of the things about being a mentor, and you'll know this yourself, you absolutely learn lots of stuff yourself from your mentees. So just being with those children, they're so open to ideas. You actually get ideas in your own business, in your own life. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I've been involved with them, and I come out always inspired by some young child that's just writing the most amazing, ridiculous, fantastic stories. It's great, absolutely great.
And that you know, I was going to say to you, do you find that actually your I'm going to say your work with adults changes as a result of it?
It does, and also it helps you understanding the schools, because you quite often with either 14-year-olds that are still, they think they're very grown up but they're not, and also you work with 18-year-olds that are very lost sometimes in the system. Absolutely, it all helps. Everything that you do helps learn for the next person, and I think we're all growing all the time, and it does make a massive difference. Massive.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. Are there any particular stories that sort of stand out at you that you can just remember?
Yeah, we've had a local school that are going to mentor students, where they've gone in and they've been quite not very confident, especially girls in STEM-related industries, where they're going into a lot of classes with a lot of guys, and just giving them little ways that they can change. And just to see somebody be able to stand up after 6 months and give a presentation, everybody's nervous. I'm still nervous. But I think to be able to stand up after 6 months when you knew that person would never get up, and actually take control of a group or be involved in a group, it's just fantastic. I've got loads of stories like that. Young Asian girl, very quiet and shy, but absolutely just blossomed in that setup. It's just great to see. And then the young kids, where they are, there's at Grimm & Co, there's a young boy who's autistic, who doesn't interact very well in class, never writes any more than 3 or 4 words. He went to Grimm & Co, and his teachers were crying at one side, because the teachers are not allowed to be involved in the workshops. They can observe. And it's treated in a very different setting to the classroom, and all the kids are on a level there. And the autistic boy now has become very involved in school. He started writing in his book every day. His teacher was just blown away. It's changed the way he's learning, and that's what it's about. Absolutely what it's about.
Of course it is. Of course it is. So true. It's so true, isn't it? And obviously you're a STEM ambassador as well. So I imagine that this naturally spills into what your work as a STEM ambassador.
That's right, because again, there are, unfortunately, we've been working for the last 3 or 4 years. I've been working with the local Workwise Foundation. We do a lot of work with STEM, on male and female, but we are trying to encourage more females. We thought we were getting some traction, but actually we've been told that the figure's going the opposite way at the minute, and I really don't know what we can do to stop that happening. We need more women involved, because we know actually there's proof and lots of research that financially businesses are better when there's more females in the room. Just from the mix, the dynamics, it's absolutely makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. So we need a few more, and it's going the opposite way at the minute. So it's a worrying trend, and it doesn't have to be many. And there's a lot of research about 3 women in a group. So 3 in 10 makes an absolute difference. And obviously there's also the ethnicity and everything else, the diversity. But just having 3 women in a group can sometimes change the diversity. We need that. Happen.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and I wholeheartedly agree. Something that we're really involved with at the moment as
Yeah.
a mentoring school is the
Yeah.
apprenticeship levy, and because we train mentors for apprentices in the
Yeah.
workplace, and it's something that we see, and we have lots of discussions on the course about
Yeah.
diversity, but about gender equality, and getting particularly in the STEM subjects.
Yeah.
I did a course recently for
Yeah.
colleagues in the scientific research fields, and actually, I mean, thankfully, we actually had some females come on the training
Yeah.
to talk about it, but they were saying this is very few and far between. Actually, we
Yeah.
are quite a bit in our organisations,
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's difficult, and we're trying to do it. We're trying to do it by industry. We've got sectors involved now. It is just a challenge all the time. There's just so many things. I think that absolutely, for me, without getting into the government stuff, is the childcare issue needs to be somehow looked at, because it's stopping people going back out, or the way that they work getting reduced, so they're going to a different role. We absolutely, and that's for guys as well as women. That's not about gender. That's about children, and that's back to mentoring. Having two parents or a group. My daughter's got a group of people that look after her, because I'm always here.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge for all of us. Is the childcare is not just a social thing; it's a business thing.
Absolutely, and certainly that's again something I've come across a few times. Is I'm going to say, even though you've now got shared parental leave, actually that's not always the case. It's not always happening.
No, absolutely not. And we're a male-dominated industry with lots of engineers, and we are trying to look at shift patterns and ways of working so we can keep engineers, because they're leaving because they've got wives doing really great jobs, and their job's not as important as the wife's job.
Yeah.
I completely get it. So it's a challenge for businesses, I'm afraid, that one.
Definitely, isn't it just?
Anyway,
And going full circle, that's going to be a challenge, for tomorrow's generation.
absolutely.
Going back to our children, it's actually something that we need to be thinking about now. Just moving on now, just thinking about the work that you do. Well, I suppose in all of your mentoring, do you see any common themes across the different forms of mentoring that you do?
I think from my point of view, when I became president, I put forward, I do lots of different types of mentoring, and I put forward these 3 things that I think make a difference, and it doesn't matter whether you're talking business, school, grim. Confidence comes through every time. It's people without confidence and encouraging some confidence. We connecting people together. I'm sometimes shocked how people don't know that other businesses, organisations exist, where they're working just in a silo, or even in councils and big organisations. So connecting people up is something that's really important in mentoring. I think putting people in touch with other people, and just collaborating across teams, where I've mentored somebody and then thought, actually, I've got a colleague that's mentoring somebody else that would help more in a certain area. So I think being willing to know that you're not the one they need, and being honest about that, and just saying, actually, I'm not really good at this bit, but this person is. And so they're the themes that come out every time for me.
Yeah, and interesting that you say that, because actually one of our other guests has said a similar thing, and it's something that's so often overlooked. And the analogy that I used was when I started our business, 4 years ago. The mentors that I had then were very much focused on startup. We're now an international, we're now an international training provider, going to be an awarding body soon. The mentors that I've got now are completely different, and that is so often overlooked. Although you may be a mentor with someone at the moment, actually, part and parcel of being a mentor is thinking about, am I fit for purpose, as it were?
Yeah. Because you might be perfect for a startup, or you might be perfect for a large business. As in, my mentor, Julie Kenny, yeah, she's absolutely fantastic, but put her with somebody in a very small business and she might not be able to help because she's so far removed from that now. I think it's just knowing when you're not the right person and being happy to not be the right person and move on. And also, which is great, as in with your children as well, they're best, they're growing quicker than you because they're getting that support and that nurturing. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Yeah.
Definitely. So true. So true. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up now. But if I could just get you to just ask one final question. What do you think the future of mentoring is?
I think the future of mentoring is for everybody to be open to being mentors themselves and being a mentor, because the number of people I see that say, oh, I could never mentor another person, and they so can. It's opening that world up to other people, and people not being scared of that word, explaining to people what it means, because quite often we are buddied up with somebody, but you wouldn't say that they're mentoring that person. So it's the language probably. I think just opening it up to lots of different people.
So true. So true. No, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm gonna have to leave it there. But Lisa, it's been an absolute delight. And if anyone's interested in finding out about Grim and Co, how do they do that?
Yeah, so they're on the internet, www.grimandco.co.uk, and they're on Facebook as well, and on Twitter, just Grim and Co.
Grim and Co.
So,
Double L,
yeah,
isn't it?
look them up. They're great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if anyone wants to contact you, how do they get hold of you?
I'm on an email address, lisa@airmaster.uk.com, or I'm on Twitter @Lisa Pogson, and I'd love for people to get involved.
Super. It's been an absolute delight, and certainly I'm going to walk away just feeling very inspired from this conversation.
Good. I will as well. Thank you.
No. Thank you. It's so good. Anyway, thank you very much. And guys, please stay tuned and watch out for our next interview that's coming up, because I know we've got another treat in store for you. All right, guys. Bye bye.